Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel for another curly hair video. So last week I talked all about hair type. So whether or not your curl type is 1 straight, so I guess 2, 3 or 4 type curls. So since you already know that information about your hair, let's move on to porosity. Porosity is a very important thing to know about your hair because that will also allow you to pick the right kind of products. So porosity, you're probably thinking, what is that? It's your hair's ability to absorb and retain water or moisture. Absorb and retain moisture. So within that porosity, there are 3 types of porosity. You could have low porosity, medium porosity, or high porosity. But I'm just going to talk about low and high because medium porosity kind of just means your hair is normal. You can kind of do whatever you want to it. Your hair is just normal. So let's start by figuring out if you have high or low porosity hair. So everybody, if you have clean hair, we want to do this with clean hair. Take a strand of hair out of your head. Just one, you won't need one. Take one clean strand of hair and put it in a glass of water. If your hair sinks in the glass of water, you may have high porosity hair, meaning your hair cuticle, your hair shaft looks like this. I'll insert a picture because that is not helping at all. Cuticle is open, allowing a lot of moisture to come in, but as fast as that moisture comes in, it can also leave just as fast. If your hair is low porosity, your hair cuticle is very smooth, meaning it is extremely hard for your hair to become moisturized because your hair cuticle is so tight, nothing wants to come in or come out, making your hair very susceptible to buildup. So if your hair is low porosity, it will just sit right on top of the water. It will not sink, it will not sink into the middle, it will just sit right on top. And you want to leave your hair in this cup of water for about 3 to 5 minutes for it to really sit in there and think about what it's going to do. So that being said, if your hair is normal, it will kind of just float in the middle of the glass. So you want to do so. Some people may think that this test is not very accurate only because your hair has natural oils. Another test you could do is take just one strand of hair. It doesn't matter if it's clean or dirty, just any strand of hair on your head. And move your fingers up and down your strand of hair. If it is very smooth to the touch and you don't feel any ridges or bumps, this may mean you have low porosity hair. Meaning, like I said, there are no open cuticles. It is just very smooth because all of your hair cuticle, hair shaft, whatever you want to call it, is closed. But if you're moving up and down your hair and you feel bumps and ridges, that means that you may have high porosity hair because you can feel those open cuticles. This is a very hard test though if you have normal hair because I guess where do you fall on that spectrum? I guess you don't really know. A third way to figure out your porosity is to take a spray bottle, spray your hair, and if you see beads of water building up on your hair, you may have low porosity because like I said, it's very hard for your hair to absorb that water and absorb that moisture, so everything will just sit on top, eventually leading to buildup. But if you have high porosity hair and you spray the water on your hair, it will absorb right away and you will not see any beads or droplets on your hair. So maybe you want to do all of these tests, 2 of these tests, just to see where your hair falls. So if you see here, my hair is still sitting at the top of the water. This may mean that I have low porosity hair, but after time, I've kind of figured out that I have high and low porosity hair. I also have noticed that my hair is not one type of porosity. I kind of range between low and high porosity because of the heat damage that I cause to my hair. Your hair porosity comes from your genetics, but if you mutilate your hair and color it, straighten it, just do really harsh things to your hair, your porosity may change. And I know this because low porosity hair is very sensitive to protein. So you want to use very low protein products, low to no protein products because it does not work well with your hair. But if you have high porosity hair, your hair loves protein. If your hair is anything like mine, you may like this protein treatment. This is my favorite protein treatment. It's the ApHogee Serious Care and Protein Strengthening Treatment and Protective Moisturizer. So it's a 2-step process. The first step is the strengthening treatment and the second is the protective moisturizer. So you may want to try this because you never know if you have high and low porosity hair. So another thing you want to do if you have low porosity hair is apply heat when deep conditioning. Not straightener heat, not curling iron heat, just heat from a blow dryer or a hooded dryer. But if you have low porosity hair and you deep condition, you want to get that in there with heat. Your hair is low porosity, so your cuticle is very, very tight. By applying heat, you can open that cuticle just a little bit more to absorb that moisture and let that sink in very well with the heat. If your hair is high porosity, you will not need to do this, but you want to rinse your hair with cool water at the end of your shower to make sure you are closing that hair cuticle up as much as possible. Moving into products, for high porosity hair, you can afford to use very heavy products like butters, like I said, the heavy oils, lots and lots of leave-ins, creams, things like that will really, really work and moisturize your hair. It's because, like I said, the cuticle's open. You want to really put a lot of moisture in it so it will not leave just as fast. If you only put a little water-based products that are not very moisturizing, it will soak in really quick. It will also leave your hair as quickly, leaving it very dry and brittle. For low porosity hair, you really want to use those lightweight products because it will just build up on your hair, causing lots of buildup. And nobody likes buildup. You can see buildup, especially if you have darker hair. You don't want it to look like you have dandruff, so you really just want to stick with those light, water-based, really light conditioning products so we can have moisture in our hair but not too much at the same time. If we do get buildup, you can go in with an apple cider vinegar rinse, put this in a water bottle or a spray bottle, put 1 part apple cider vinegar, 3 parts water, and spray this all over our head before we shampoo. I do this about every other week because I tend to get a lot of buildup. I will start to feel it in my hair. I scratch my head and I can just feel it on my fingers. I'm on about 4-day hair now, so I can definitely feel the product is just sitting on my hair. So now that I gave you guys a little rundown on hair porosity, take these tips and go buy products that are suited for your hair. Just because your hair might look like mine doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to take the same products. Take the time and really experiment with different products, different leave-in conditioners, different DIYs, and see what works for your hair. I'm still learning too. I don't really know what the best products are for my hair. What I'm using right now worked for a while, but now I'm starting to think that it's a little heavy for my hair. But just experiment. You don't have to go out and buy a ton of products and spend a lot of money. You can get very small size products, trial size deep conditioners. If you have a curly friend, split the products. If she has something, he has something, use their products and swap. Do whatever you need to do that you aren't going out and spending hundreds of dollars on these products. There are so many cheaper alternatives in different ways to style your hair rather than going to Ulta or Sephora or buying the most expensive products at Target because you think those will work the best. So if you liked this video or learned something, give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. With that being said, I hope to see you guys next week for another curly hair video. Bye!